Good morning. My name is Brianna. I'm a licensed psychotherapist. These videos are educational in purpose, meaning this isn't therapy. This isn't a clinical treatment modality. I'm acting in the capacity of wanting to just feed information for people who are wanting to understand themselves better and deeper and easier. One of the main areas that I focus on is working with men who struggle with infidelity and addiction and anger. And today's video topic is focusing on patterns of avoidance. And diving into avoidance for me is one of the most important topics that I'm going to focus on because it's one of the most common coping mechanisms that men use to deal with stress, conflict, or emotions. Avoidance isn't just ignoring problems, it's any behavior used to just escape emotional discomfort. It can look like emotional shutdowns. Sometimes that's called stonewalling, not engaging in difficult or uncomfortable conversations. It can look like overworking, where you basically go into tunnel vision and you don't engage in any of the personal connections going on. It can look like you're in the thick of addiction, where you're numbing, you're drinking, you're using to escape your thoughts and feelings associated with circumstances that are causing stress. It can look like procrastination, where you just keep putting things off. Perhaps your spouse or partner comes to you and says, "Hey, we really have to talk about your drinking." "Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow." I'm not in a good space for that. So just continually kind of kicking the can down the wall. So I want to talk to you about why this happens. Men are taught that emotions are something that we don't need to pay attention to. And often uncomfortable emotions like sadness or fear or weakness, these are the emotions that bring up a lot of tenderness, a lot of discomfort. But we know intellectually avoidance doesn't eliminate the problem, but that's where it stops. This idea of stonewalling or running away or finding something else to do instead or delaying things, the reality is it's literally only making your circumstances worse. Now, as a result, you're sending the message to your loved ones you don't care, that they're unimportant, you're dismissing their needs, and nothing's actually getting resolved or tackled by any means. So I want to talk to you about how we break the cycle. The first step is identifying one area of your life that you're actually avoiding. Take action towards that. Let's use an example. Let's say that I'm avoiding sitting down and finally talking about my gambling addiction. When we sit down, the first thing that's going to happen is our body is going to feel a physical response and our body's going to want to shut down and run away. That's a somatic response saying, "Hey, I'm uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm going to deal with this." But over time, when we learn to sit with emotional discomfort, we're stretching out our tolerance for discomfort. Believe me, the first couple times you do it, it's not comfortable. But over time, your distress tolerance starts to grow and you'll see the results. You'll see the data by you doing this yourself. Patterns of avoidance 100% of the time result in more problems. That's why, even though our brain is wanting to lean away from the issues, we actually want to lean into the issues because over time, we actually gain something called ego strength. That's layperson's terms for I'm learning how to sit with more discomfort and I'm able to regulate and I'm able to have calm conversations. This is an actual skill that requires time and it requires very specific interventions to learn how to do this. But the first step is recognizing and owning that you engage in patterns of avoidance. That's actually step one. The next video that I'm making is about the feelings of guilt and shame and how that leads us into developing the patterns of avoidance. I think that will be helpful to understand the underlying roots. But I hope this was helpful to give you a little bit of information behind the why. As always, I hate being on video, so I'm going to stop now. And I hope this was helpful.